Hello, dear fans, friends, and with you here. And before I know that I'm going to talk about two matches here. One is the match between the first day's play between India and New Zealand. Probably the second day's play is going to get underway. Probably, I reckon, probably in 30, 40 minutes time here. Christchurch, but just talking through the day, what a day. I mean, India, once again, the toss, as you know, is very, very crucial in New Zealand. And again, Indian captain Kohli losing the toss, and I have 142 on the first day of the second test match at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. Wicket, second test of his career, once again going on to bag another fifer. And before that, went on in rollicking style. He actually took the attack right to the New Zealand bowlers by slamming them for boundaries. As there was a bit of I mean, they were bowling a bit short, and he took immense advantage out of it. As 54 runs were cracked by him with 8 fours and 1 6, but then a brilliant catch from Latham. The ball is going over his head. He's a short player, a short in stature, but he actually stretched out and they just plucked the ball from thin air. So, and that was the end of Shaw. Now, Kohli was under the microscope, one could say, because he has been having a torrid time in New Zealand. And let me tell you, Tim Saudi, who was actually getting uh, reviewing a decision, which probably India would have lost a review there because he was absolutely plumb in front of the stumps as the ball actually swerved in from Tim Saudi, and Kohli was hit on the pads, and it was a plumb, really beautiful to see. In fact, it was a very strokeful innings from Hanuma Vihari. It was a good partnership that was built. India, as I said, were starting at 85 for 3, it became 113 for 4. They lost Ajinkya Rahane for just 7 runs. A very bad shot from Ajinkya Rahane, trying to, instead of playing the ball as close to his body as possible, in fact, going well away from his body and actually lunging at it, and he was gone. And Hanuma Vihari, I have to say, he was the highest scorer with 55 after Prithvi Shaw. And Hanuma Vihari, I have to say, what a knock from Hanuma Vihari. It was a very strokeful innings for Hanuma, 10 fours in that embedded in a knock of 55 from Hanuma Vihari. And other than that, James that Ashwin should have been played. I entire Indian batting order failed, and Ravichandran Ashwin can't be faulted. So I thought that Ashwin, and especially considering the Ishan Sharma, Ishan Sharma's place was taken with Umesh Yadav, which is expected. But Ravindra Jadeja got into the team. I understand that Ravindra Jadeja is a wonderful all-rounder, but it was a bit surprising to see Ravichandran Ashwin being kept out and Jadeja coming in. But nevertheless, Jadeja also did not have it any good here. He was out for just 9 days. Not playing Kohli's wicket was something to see. I mean, he kept balling the ball wide outside the off stump to Kohli, and that actually kept coming in. And Kohli was absolutely plumb in front. 238 for Saudi, bowled 2 for 89, Grandom, and what to talk about career, getting another fifer here, a second consecutive fifer in Test cricket by Kyle Jamieson. And I should probably look into the records to see who was the other bowler. New Zealand bowlers to get 2 5 bowler in the annals of the match. Neil Wagner, as you know, New Zealand went into a four-pronged pace attack, and Neil Wagner, well, he kept plugging in, with those short deliveries that he normally bowls, and he took a big wicket there because Hanuma Vihari was looking good, and and vital. So Kohli once again losing the toss to himself by actually failing this match as New Zealand openers were in no trouble at all as they put 63 for none at the end of the day. Latham was not on until continue on the morrow on the second day of cricket update coming in Magley Oval in Christchurch. Look at this. Let's have a look at the bowling figures. Bumrah had none for 19, none for 20 for Umesh Yadav came in place. Vishen Shadeja bowling 1 over India versus New Zealand. So let's see live and definitely taking the honors there. Now we are looking at the second match. Now we are talking about the first match of the ODI series that happened between Australia and South Africa. Not been given a chance, but here I have to tell you that South Africa have pulled it. Had two debutants today into the game. So South Africa were the ones who batted first, making 200. Janneman, they had two debutants. One was Janneman Mallon, the other one was K. Vereen, who was very in swinging Yorker coming in from Mitchell Stark and Janneman Mallon on his ODI debut. He had young 22-year-old and 80-odd between was very at the young age of 22, showing a lot of temperament, showing a lot of good defense, and playing in a very measured manner. He knew the situation, especially Mitchell Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, and Mitchell Marsh. I thought it was a wonderful innings from Vereen at the other end, and Vereen contributing 48 runs in that partnership with two boundaries only, but definitely looks commentary box was mentioning. And not only that, Vereen not only did his bat, but marvelous catches he took in the field when the Aussies were bad. Say, really played a classic innings here. In fact, from after Vereen gave him 27th over, and then the experienced David Miller joined Klassen, and Klassen grew in confidence when Miller came to the crease, and runs started cascading. I mean, from 126 for 4 in the 27th over, the Australians were all over the South Africans. Klassen went on and on and on, and saw to it that he went on to his maiden ODI century. He lived a charmed life. He was dropped in India, if I'm right here, and he was very impressive. And that is the time I thought this person is someone. He's an aggressive cricketer. Let me tell you, Klassen, and he showed towards the end when he had the South Africans getting onto a total of 291 for 7. His contribution Cummins was a real gem. He just 3 for 45. Cummins was pick of the bowlers. Marsh short, Zampa 10 was number 48. Short was included today, 5 was number 35. And Mitchell Marsh 5 overs, none for 35. Australia, with a target of 292, one would have expected the Aussies to really get onto it with their very strong batting lineup and with the batting form they are in. It was not to be today. Lungi Gidi making a double strike at the top of the order, dismissing both the openers, Warner for 25, 27, 3 boundaries, and Finch gone back at the crease over and took it to 100. And Smith's contribution, Smith was more said, but also Manus Labuschagne and Smith, they definitely tried their best. In fact, Smith making 76 with 3 boundaries and Labuschagne 41, and they were looking good, but there was a spell of play when these two spinners, and Shamsi, as I said, is someone who has really been a sort of a different bowler altogether, as I've seen him bowling against the Aussies, and 3 combined beautifully and started putting some pressure on the Aussie batsman, and that was the thing which happened with Stephen Smith being LBW bowled Notji for 76. So this was a time when the score read 100 and stage in the 34th over. They had all covered. Mitchell Marsh was at the crease. They had Labuschagne at the crease. Sorry, there was Stephen Smith at the crease. Labuschagne, as you know, he basically is a South African, and he was actually playing in front of his home family, one could say. He made 41. He was taken by Heinrich Norgee, the spinner. Sorry, I have to say, Alex Carey has not been in some any good form. He was out for just 5 to the bowling of Shamsi. Shamsi also captured the wicket of DRC Short, who could be dangerous at times. And after that, it was quick work for the South Africans. So it was a literally it was a collapse. So 174 for four. They were bowled out. The Aussies were bowled out for 217, and resulting in a victory. And Quinton de Kock would have been a very happy man, no doubt about it. After being grilled by about the way South Africans were playing. And if you look at the bowling there, Maharaj was one who started because of Finn's fallibility towards left arm spin, but in fact, Maharaj was not the one to take the wicket. Maharaj 148. Nodji was very impressive, 2 for 39 for him in 7.1 hours. Geedy was absolutely superb. 8 overs, 3 for 10 was 245. Henrik Larsson on his maiden ODI century, 123 not out, was named man of the match. So that is as far as the cricket updates are concerned on my cricket show today. Just before I go, I'm just going to have a quick check on whether the match has really started. No, it's not started. We are still waiting for the play to begin on the second days at the Hagley Oval. I think the Indians have to pick up a few wickets pretty quickly, otherwise it will be too late, according to me. And it'll be interesting to see whether the Indians can pick up a few wickets in the morning, and it will be very crucial. And also, just before I go, I have to say and this happens to be a record in the Pakistan Super League. Really, Rozu is holding the record today. He was representing Really Rozu, scored a 43 ball century, which is the fast. So, with that being said, I'm not cricket-status.com, and you can look into it. Well, a pleasure bringing you this cricket happening show, and that's all I have from here today. And see you all tomorrow. That's on a Sunday. Thank you.